Okay, so if we give a source code management, if we give a poll SCM here, so how much time I have given is 5 minutes. So for every 5 minutes, my Jenkins will go and check in this GitHub repository, is there a commit made inside this particular branch or not? If any commit is made into some other branch, it doesn't bother. As you are using this GitHub repository and branch, only in that particular branch, it will go and check the commit is made or not. If any commit is made, right, for in the next 5 minutes schedule, it will pull the change. It will automatically trigger this job. It will automatically trigger this job. It will pull the latest changes, run Maven, right, deploy into Tomcat. Whatever the steps we have given in this job, that will get executed. Now here I have one question. This I configured poll SCM for 5 minutes. Okay. Now it checked at 8:40. There are no commits made into my GitHub repository master branch. At 8:41, Nagaraj pushed one commit into master branch. 8:42, Pawan pushed one commit. 8:43, Kavya pushed one change. 8:44, I pushed one change. Now the build is getting triggered at 8:45. Now tell me how many times it will trigger this job? 4 commits are made.
Only once.
Only once. Why? Because I'm in within that 5 minutes, 5 times 4 commits are made, right? It has to trigger 4 times, right? Why only once? That is correct only. What you said is correct. But I'm asking, why only once? See, when you make a commit, this poll SCM will not trigger that. 5 minutes means it went to GitHub and checked at 8:40. Is there any commits or not? There were no commits. Again, next time when it will go 8:45 after 5 minutes, 8:45. Within that 40 to 45 time, how many commits are made? It doesn't bother. There is a latest change. That's it. Let me take all the changes. So, right? It will pull all. It will trigger only once. It will pull all the changes. So in that all the changes, it will have 4 commits, right? Whatever you committed into that GitHub repository branch, 4 commits. Everything will be there when it triggered, right? It will clone it will pull the latest changes. When it pull, all the 4 commit ID changes will come. Yes or no? Okay, you don't respond. Okay, so it will pull all the changes. It will pull all the changes and execute the job. Pull the changes, run Maven, deploy into Tomcat. Understood, guys? This is very important. Okay. Now, who is checking for this? As based on this schedule, who is going to check in GitHub whether the changes are made or not for every 5 minutes? Jenkins. Jenkins will go and check in GitHub. How it will know? One more question here. If you use poll SCM, okay, Jenkins will go and check in GitHub whether the new commit is made or not for every 5 minutes. But how you know, how the Jenkins knows that a new commit is made into GitHub branch? Because whenever it is going to check the GitHub, for example, now it pull the latest changes. When this Jenkins pull the latest changes, it will have the latest commit ID, head version ID. You remember in GitHub, I said head version means the latest commit ID or the latest version ID or commit ID. So it will carry that to my GitHub and it will check in the branch. So my head version and your head version, latest commit ID, both are same or not. If it both are same means there are no new changes made. If there is a change, my latest commit ID is equal to your latest commit ID or not. Both are different. It means what? Jenkins will understand that both head versions are different. It means a new commit ID is made, a new commit is made into this GitHub repository and pull the latest changes. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Huh? What? I'll tell you that. In real time, sir, do I need to use 5 minutes? Yes, of course. In real time, most of the time we use 5 minutes. You can give 1 minute also. It is up to you. I want to check immediately 1 minute. Okay, you can give it. Last it will show, right? It is like 1 hour, I think, right? 3:53, 4:53. It is like 1 hour. Okay, this is 5 minutes or what? I forgot this. 3:13, 3:18. Okay, 15 minutes.
Try 05.
No. Wait, I'll explain that schedule. So if you want any time, you can give it like this. So however you want, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but in real time we'll give 5 minutes, right? So this is about poll SCM. Okay, I'll explain this, how to write this schedule. I'll explain you. Next thing is, there is one more option called as build periodically. which is similar to GitHub, Polysym, which is similar to Polysym, same as it is. How you write a schedule for Polysym, the same you write for a build periodically. See, here it is a checkbox, not radio button. You can enable two options for your job. Build periodically, I want. Polysym, both I want. Okay, you can enable like that also. If your requirement is like that, you can use that. But as I'm saying, Polysym, build periodically, both are same cron expression. See, here it also it has only one option. You write the cron expression. This is called as cron expression. Here also you have to write the cron expression. Same. And what is the difference is, see, build periodically as you are giving 5-minute schedule. So for example, let me explain Polysym once. The Polysym got triggered at, just now I enabled Polysym at 8:40. So at 8:40, it will go to my GitHub, will check there are changes or not. There are no changes. It will keep idle. Next, when it will trigger, 5 minutes I gave it 8:45. It will go to my GitHub and check. Right? Polysym, you are giving 5-minute schedule. So every 5 minutes it will check in GitHub whether changes or not. Right? If there are any changes, it will trigger. If not, it will not trigger. But I use build periodically here, right? At 8:40, you did this. 8:40, it will trigger this job. Again at 8:45, it will trigger the job. Again at 8:50, it will trigger the job. It will not check whether the new changes are made into GitHub repository or not. It will not check like that. Its job is build. It will run the build, means it will build the job, right? As you given the schedule, 5-minute schedule, for every 5 minutes, it will trigger the job, means it will build the job. It will not check whether the new changes are there in the GitHub or not. It will not check. 5 minutes, 8:40, let me execute the job. 8:45, execute the job. 8:50, execute the job. That's it. Now, if that is the case, at 8:45 trigger, okay, deployed, fine. Again, it will trigger at 8:45. None of the developers made any commits into this master branch, but still it will deploy the same changes. Last time, whatever it deployed at 8:40, the same changes it is going to deploy at 8:45 also, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
8:50 also it will deploy. 8:55 also it will deploy. So this build periodically will not check for condition. If you given a schedule, cron schedule like this, blindly it will execute the job. That's it. But if it is a Polysym, at every 5 minutes, it will check in your GitHub, is there any commits are there or not. Then if there is a new commit, it will trigger that. If there are no commits, it will not trigger. Have you understood the difference between build periodically, Polysym?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, when to use build periodically is, don't use for such jobs, right? If there are any jobs which has to be executed every day at 12 o'clock, every day at 12 o'clock, I want to execute, whether there are new changes or not, I will not bother. I want to deploy. For one of my project, I don't want to deploy for every 5 minutes, only single day I'll deploy. Okay, you use this. Or else, I want to take some backups, right? I don't have any Maven or GitHub repository, Tomcat deployment. My job is I want to execute one shell script, which will take the backups, like database backup or some files backups. Every day, I will be placing some files at one location. Every day at 12 o'clock, I want to copy them to some other location, right? While copying, I don't want to copy all the files. I want to filter. I want to filter few files which has only star.png extension. Only those files I want to copy. So you write one shell script. You write one shell script which will filter only those files and copy. So that shell script you give it here. So blindly at 12 o'clock every day, if you give that 12 o'clock schedule here, every day at 12 o'clock, it will filter those files and copy those files. Understood? For backups and all such things, we can use this build periodically. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more option is there. This one, GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling, something. There is a big GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling, but in general we call it as webhooks. In general we call as webhooks, or else GitHub hooks, Git hooks, something like that we call. Git hooks is totally different concept, but people will also call this option as Git hook because I think they don't know that there is option called as Git hooks. But in general we call it as webhook. What is this option is? See, build periodically has one option to give. But for this webhook option, there is no option like this. When I click on this, there is some value you have to enter, but for this, no, just checkbox need to be enabled. So what is this option is, see, Polisium, what it will do, if you give a schedule, 5-minute schedule, with it will trigger at 1 minute, again at 5th minute it will trigger. So at that time, in between these 5 minutes, how many commits are there? Either 1 commit or 100 commits. For all 100 commits also, it will trigger only once. Yes or no? After 5 minutes, only once it will build this job. But if you use webhooks, this option, what will happen is, it will not trigger based on schedule. For every commit you made into this GitHub repository branch, it will trigger the job. It will build the job. Means I made one commit at 8:53. I have webhooks option enabled for this job. So when I made a commit at 8:53, this job will get triggered. Means it will start get executing. At 8:53 itself, Pawan made one more commit into the same GitHub repository branch. Again, this job will get triggered. Again, Kavya made one more commit, it will trigger. Manasa made at 8:44, again it will trigger. So for each commit ID, for each commit you make, the job will get triggered. Understood, guys? Not time based. I want to deploy immediately. If I use Polisium, if I make a commit now, maybe the build may trigger at next 2 minutes or like after 5 minutes. The last build executed at 8:50. I'm using Polisium. The last build executed at 8:50. Now immediately 8:51. I made a commit. I have to wait for 5 minutes, right? After 5 minutes, the build get triggered and it will take 1 or 2 minutes to deploy. So I have to wait around 6 to 7 minutes to deploy. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, yes.
But I don't want that. Immediately, when I make a commit, automatically the build has to trigger and deploy it. I don't bother how many times I commit. Immediate deployment I want. Then you can go for this option. Understood? The difference between build periodically, webhooks, Polisium. Have you understood, guys? Webhooks will trigger the job for each and every commit, whereas Polisium will trigger even if there are multiple commits. All commits it will trigger once based on the schedule we have given. Build periodically, it doesn't bother about any changes are made into GitHub or not. It will blindly trigger as per the schedule. Understood? So based on your requirement in your project, what suits to you, you have to select it. You can't use all three. One you have to use. Which one? Based on your requirement in your projects, you have to select that. Understood, guys? So webhooks will trigger for every commit ID, right? Yes, correct. But not only this, just enabling this option is not enough. Not enough. You have to do one more change. See, Polisium is Jenkins to GitHub communication. Jenkins will go and check for every 5 minutes. In this particular repository branch, is there a new commit made into this branch or not? Jenkins will go and check. But if you use GitHub, right? GitHub will notify your Jenkins. Hey Jenkins, you asked me to inform, right? You asked me to inform whenever a new commit is made into this GitHub repository branch. You asked me inform. Yes, I got a new commit ID. It will inform. So when GitHub informs Jenkins, then Jenkins will trigger this job. So if GitHub wants to inform this Jenkins that a new commit is made into this, we need to do some configuration changes on GitHub also, right? So whenever you use webhooks, what you have to do is, you have to, let me log in here. Okay. It will ask you verify code, I think. Okay, luckily it didn't ask. Okay. Now you have to go to your Jenkins, whatever you have used here, right? In Jenkins. Okay. Where is that? Okay. See this one, whatever the GitHub repository branch you used, right? Go to this GitHub repository. I went to this GitHub repository, settings. Here, there is one option called as webhooks. Here, there is one option called as webhooks. Go here. By default, it will be like this. By default, nothing will be there. Okay. By default, there won't be any webhook. This option. All right. What happened? Okay, let me keep it. What happened? Did I save it? Okay, let me go somewhere and come. Okay, by default, this option will not be there. This will not be there. What you have to do is you have to click on add webhook. You have to click on add webhook at give details. But I already have a webhook, right? Just let me edit that. Let me edit that. So what you have to give it here is very simple, very simple. It's very simple. What you have to give it is where your Jenkins is running, that URL. My Jenkins is running with this IP address and port number, right? That you have to give it here. That you have to give it here and add /GitHub-webhook/. This slash is also mandatory. If this is not there, it will not work. If this is not there, it will not work. So what you have to do, you just has to click on, by default, this webhook will not be there. It will be like this. Okay, it will be like this. You have to click on add webhook, add webhook. Here you have to give this option, http:// this Jenkins IP address : port number, means Jenkins URL / GitHub-webhook / this slash is also mandatory. It will, else it will not work. So you have to make this. You have to give this. So when you want to let your GitHub inform your Jenkins, right? When just a push event, right? Send me everything, means for everything, whatever the action happens on your GitHub branch, it will inform. But I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is I want to use only for push events, means any new commit is made and pushed into my GitHub. So I am enabling this, right? And I'm enabling this. So now see this. If any person who commits into any branch, not only this branch, any branch, if a commit is made, your Jenkins, your GitHub will let your Jenkins know that, hey, for this particular branch, someone pushed a code, a new commit is made. So Jenkins will check. So am I using this? Yes. Okay. Whatever the GitHub has informed, it will check. Is there for this only I have, for this job, I'm using master branch, and for this GitHub is enabled. Okay. Is there any change made into GitHub master branch or some other branch? Okay. Master branch. So let me trigger it. If some other made into some other branch, if the commit is made into some other branch, it will check. Okay, this GitHub is enabled with this master branch, but commit is made into some other branch. Let me ignore. Like that, it will skip. Understood, guys? So now let me do this. I'll go here. I'll clone this. See, practice. I'll clone this repository. Clone. Okay, I'm cloning. Let me save this job also. See, the job number is 18. You remember the latest job is 18. Let me refresh it. 18, right? So now what I'll do is project here inside the project, I'll just modify one file, some text, just only one text. For example, in the form.xml, I'll put one space, or else let me change. You just want to deploy changes, right? Don't want to see them at all. Just let me do one small change. So just I'll put one enter here, save it, one enter. Just now it will show here git status. If I type status, okay, I have this git add form.xml git commit -m testing webhook git push. Now see here, what is the commit ID here? How many commits are there in the master branch? 57 commits. Now I'm making one more commit and pushing it. What it is saying? Permissions to GitHub repository denied. Okay, here Chaitanya user is there, right? Okay, let me do directly here only. Let me do again. I have to copy my SSH key. This Chaitanya user last time I configured, right? Not KC technology, so it is blocking. So first, let me do a commit directly here itself. Here itself, I'll change that. So 57 commits were there, right? Now let me edit one. This one. Good. Now let me commit here directly. Now you observe here. Done. I committed that change. I committed it, right? Now total how many commits are there? 58 commits. So I made a new commit. Now you go here to your Jenkins. See, automatically it got triggered. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
So like this it will work. Okay. This is webhooks. So PoleSM will work from based on the schedule, but the communication happens in Jenkins to GitHub. Jenkins will go and check every 5 minutes, is there a change or not? But webhooks, Git itself will inform your Jenkins that I got a commit ID. So you check whether this you need to trigger a job. So it will send which branch a commit made into this. So it will check here. Okay, how many branches I have, how many jobs I have? 3 jobs. Am I using this repository in any one of the branch? Okay, 3 jobs I'm using same repository. Is any of the job is using webhooks? Yes, only this job is using. Okay, for this which branch? Master branch. Whether the commit ID is made into master branch or some other branch, same master branch. Let me trigger. If it is something else, it will ignore. Understood, guys? Is it clear? If I make the same change into some other branch, if I make some commit ID into development branch, will this get triggered? No. Why? Because in this job we are using GitHub will inform that I got a commit ID into development, but Jenkins will not trigger. Why? Because in the job we are using webhooks plus master branch. Okay. No. Have you understood how to use webhook? In interview, they'll ask like this. PoleSM, they'll ask. You will explain. Then they'll ask. No, I don't want to wait for 5 minutes. I want to deploy immediately. My job has to trigger immediately when I make a commit. So what you will tell? Which option you will tell?
GitHub hook.
GitHub webhooks. Webhooks, that is called as webhooks. So you'll tell, I'll use webhooks. Then they'll tell, when I have webhooks, better option, which can deploy for each and every commit ID, immediately it will deploy. Why should I go for PoleSM? Which is better? They'll tell webhooks is better. Why should I use PoleSM? What you will tell then?
If you have 100 commits, then webhook will execute 100 builds.
If our requirement is to deploy immediately, we can go for webhooks. But if there is a chance that in your project, if the developers are doing regular commits, in such cases, it will be unnecessary burden on Jenkins. Jenkins, how it will work based on RAM utilization. Yesterday for Tejeshwar or Pawan, I think for Pawan, I have seen this issue. The EC2 instance, whatever we take, right, T2 micro, it will have 1 GB RAM. So in that case, if there are 10 jobs triggered, if 10 commits are made into, I'm using for my job, I'm using webhooks. For the same branch, 10 developers made 10 commits. So how many times my Jenkins will trigger the job? 10 times. The resources will be highly utilized, right? That will be an extra burden on my Jenkins. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So if I use webhooks, of course, it is going to trigger immediately, but that is an extra burden on my Jenkins. So based on our requirement, if you want to immediately trigger the job, we can go for webhooks. But if you want to think about the Jenkins burden as well, load as well, then we'll go for PoleSM. So for the best practice, what you can do is, if you have 4 branches, 4 environments, dev, QA, production, pre-prod, regular commits will be made into which branch?
Dev
branch. So if I create 4 jobs, like this for same project, 4 jobs, dev branch, QA, pre-prod, prod, can I use PoleSM for dev? Because regular commits are made into development branch. How the code will come into QA branch? We will merge. We'll not merge every 5 minutes, right? Maybe one day, once in a day or twice in a day, we will merge. So can we use webhooks for dev, QA, QA pre-production, production branch, and PoleSM for development branch job? Can we use?
Yes,
PoleSM for development branch and webhooks for other remaining 3 jobs. Can we use like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you tell this example to them. Okay, they ask. Webhooks I can use, but it will create more load on the Jenkins. So for a better practice, as per our requirement, if we want immediate deployment, we can go for webhooks. If you want PoleSM, we can go. But what I take, well, you can tell like this to the interviewer. We can go for immediate deployments. We can go for webhooks. If you think about the load, we can go for PoleSM. But for what I'll tell is, for better, as a better rule, what I'll tell is, as developers are going to commit to regularly to the development branch, we can enable PoleSM to development branch. And as we merge the changes to other branch, we can enable webhooks for the QA, pre-prod and production jobs. Understood, guys? You can tell like that. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes.
Others? But Manasa, Kavya, sleeping, wake up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What, Shankar? How are you? Yatish, I forgot you are there in the class, man. Sometimes at least say that, sir, I am there. Okay, Ramana Sai.
Sir, I'm
Raghu, Ennappa. I'll inform to Umesh. You are not active. Okay, next. So this is about webhooks. What else? We spend a lot of time here. If this is the case, we are got. Okay, let me go to my job again. Next. Explain these three. I explained, right? Okay. Next, the last one more important option: build trigger builds remotely. Okay. Now, due to some case, Polysem I'm using, Polysem, for example, just think I'm using Polysem for my job, but I'm using 15 minutes duration. Example, I'm saying 15 minutes. In real time, if they ask you, you tell them that 5 minutes. Okay, in real time, we'll use in general for 5 minutes, right? Or 10 minutes like that. Normally 5 minutes. Now, remember one thing. For example, I used Polysem, 15 minutes schedule I used. 15 minutes schedule I used. Just it got triggered at 9 o'clock. At 9:01, I made a commit. I need to wait till 9:15 to deploy the changes. Yes or no? As a developer, I made a commit. I want to check my changes. Once the DevOps job deploys the changes into my server, development server, I want to check my changes. My changes are working or not there in the application, in the development server. I made at 9:01. I want to wait till 9:15, right? To update my changes and check that. But I don't want to. So one of the developer asked me, hey, dude, sometimes it's okay, I can wait, but few cases I want to test my changes immediately. Can you give me access to my Jenkins? Can you give me access to Jenkins to log in and click on this build now option? Click on this build now option. What you said is, what you thought is, okay, I can give access, but there is a better way. What I'll do is, you no need to log in into Jenkins. You want to trigger manually. You don't want to wait for 15 minutes. You don't want to wait for 15 minutes. You want to trigger manually, but to trigger manually, you have to log into your Jenkins and click on build now. So what you can, instead of that, you can tell him there is one better option like this. What is that option is? So you are enabling like this. You can use this build trigger option. Build trigger remotely. What I'll do is, you give one token here, token something, the token is ABC. What it is saying is, Jenkins URL means this one. See the syntax. Jenkins URL, right? Job, my job, build token equal to, means Jenkins URL means this one. Jenkins URL, this one, slash job slash my token equal to, then this token ABC. Okay, you just select this option. Trigger builds remotely. You give some token here. So what Jenkins is saying is, Jenkins is giving you one URL. Jenkins URL means what? This one till here 8080 IP address colon 8080. Then it is giving slash job slash my third job slash build question mark token equal to this token, you pass it. So, and let me apply the changes. So now what it is saying is, you no need to log in into Jenkins. You just hit this URL. Now you give this URL to your developer. Now the developer made a commit at 9:51, 9:1. He don't want to wait the Jenkins job to trigger at 9:15 and test his changes. He want to immediately trigger. So he asked you for access. Instead of giving access, what you said him is, dude, I'm giving you this URL. I enabled build trigger remotely option. I'm giving you this URL. Whenever you want to manually trigger this option, you don't do anything. Just hit this URL. It will automatically trigger. Did it get triggered? 20, right? It will get triggered like this. You tell him. Understood? So instead of logging into Jenkins and triggering the build, you can hit the URL, then also the job will get triggered. So how to enable that is, in the Jenkins job, in that particular job, there is an option called as build remote triggerly. You can give this option here. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is something called as build with parameters also, but this you need to understand parameterized jobs. What are those? We'll discuss later. So is it clear about this? Folium, webhooks, build periodically, remote trigger, this job, all things, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, based on your requirement, what you want, you can choose. Next, build after other projects are built. There is one option. So to do this, let me create few jobs. Let me create 2 jobs. So I'm going to create one job. I'm naming it as A. Just name it as A. I'll take it as freestyle job or Maven style. Let me take Maven style only. Create it. So here, what I'm doing inside the job is I'll not do anything. Let me take. Let me do one thing. Freestyle job. Let me take freestyle job. Okay. Let me take. Let me delete the job. Yeah. How to delete the job is just get inside the job. Click on this. Delete Maven. This one. Delete it. So how to delete a job is like this. Just click on the delete. So let me create one job, freestyle job for now. A freestyle create. I don't want anything here. Just only one thing I want to execute. Just one echo command. Echo. I am from a job. That's it. Just for testing purpose. I'm deleting this. Done. I created. Let me create one more job. New B freestyle job. Create here. Execute. I am from B job. Done. How many jobs I have? This A and B. Forget these 3. Forget 3. I have 2 jobs. Now, if I execute this A job, what it will print? I am from A job. That's it. It will print. If I execute B job, it will print I am from B job. But what I want to do is in the B, what I'm going to do is I'm selecting this option. Build after other projects are built. Enable this. So what is the project? Here project means what? Job. You select it A job, right? A comma. You can give just a space will be there. You can remove it. You can select only A. So what does this mean is inside the B job, what I'm giving? Build after other projects are built. What I'm giving? A I'm giving. So whenever A job build, automatically B also builds. So what I'm saying, in the B job, I'm saying build when other projects are built. What is that other project? A. So when A is built, automatically B also will builds. Now see here. So far, I haven't built A job, B job. B job is 0 times. A job is also built 0 times. Now let me build A. Now see this. A finished. A has finished. Now let me go to B. B also got triggered and finished once. Have you understood this? These are called as dependency jobs. I'm executing A job. But when I execute A, automatically B is executing. So these are B is depending on A. Understood, guys? So here in the B job, I am saying, hey, build this. I want this build for this B job. I'm saying, hey, you build means you trigger when A job gets triggered. So when A triggers, automatically B also gets triggered. But you can run B separately. You can execute B separately. But whenever A job executes, B also executes. Nothing is there also, it will execute. For example, I should added one comment and showed it. Understood, guys? Dependency jobs.
Yes, sir.
A is called as upstream job. Means B is depending on A. A is called as upstream job. B is called as downstream job. Understood? Now tell me one thing. If I execute B, I'm inside B. If I click on build now, will A get executed? No. Because B is depending on A, but A is not depending on A. Right? B is depending on A, but A is not depending on B. Sorry. Okay. A is not depending on B. So when you trigger A, automatically B gets executed. But when you trigger B, A will not get executed. See now, B will show as 2. I click on build now for B. 2. Now, if I go to A, it will be showing as only 1 only. Understood? So these are called as jobs. So A is an upstream job, as B is depending on A is upstream job, B is downstream job. So either in interviews they will ask like, or in real time they ask like create dependency jobs, right? Or else upstream downstream jobs. Okay, both are same. Understood? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is about this. Next, so now see here, when you are defining a downstream job inside the B, you are defining the dependency A job, right? Now, when A triggers, A will not be success always, right? Sometimes A may fail. Yes or no? In that case, whether the B job should be triggered or not. So here, so when A job triggers, when A job get triggered, here I'm giving the dependency for B, right? So when A job triggers, B has to trigger. But in which case? Trigger. So when A get triggered, trigger only when if the build is stable. Means if the build is success, if A job is success continuously 2-3 times, then only for each and every job will trigger. For example, if I select this trigger, even if the build is failure, means even if A job is fail, B job will trigger. If A is failure, still the B job is trigger. If I select this, if A is success, then only B will be executed. If A is failure, B will not trigger. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
But here you observe stable. Stable means what? If okay, now let me ask a question like this. I have only one A job. I triggered it now. First time I clicked on build now, one trigger. It is success. Second time it is success. Third time it is success. Is that stable success? Is the A job is getting successfully stable success rate? Yes or no?
Yes.
The job is stable. A job first time failure, second time success, third time success, fourth time success. It is stable or not? 3 times successful. First time failure, okay, but next 3 times successfully failure. A is first time success, second time failure, third time success, fourth time failure. Is that stable?
No.
No,
Not stable.
right? So if you select this option, if A job fails, B will not trigger. But immediately after failure, if A is success, B will not trigger. Continuously 2-3 times, if A job is success, then only for the next consecutive successes, B will trigger. Understood? Yes or no? After a failure, A got failed, B will not trigger. Next, after that failure, A is success, still B will not trigger. Next time, for the second time, if A is success continuously, then only B will trigger. Understood? Stable. Even if it trigger, even if the build is unstable, means for every success, I don't want to check A is continuously stable. I don't want to check. When A is success, B, let's trigger B. If A is failure, let's ignore B. Like that. Only for success cases you want to enable. This is even for unstable. This is even for failure. Okay, this is for stable, means continuously success. This is all for all successes except failure. This is even for failures. When A is triggered, whether the status of A is success or failure, you don't bother, you trigger B. That option indicates this. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is like this. These are called as dependency jobs. Okay, next. Okay, let me say this. Let me go to my job again. Back. My third job. Okay, I didn't explain about the cron schedule, right? Okay, 1 minute. You join back. I'll explain how to write that schedule. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, that schedule, how to write it. I'll explain you. Where I was. You join back, guys. What I clicked. OLSCM. Okay. If I click on the schedule option, it will show it here. I'll explain. See this total 5 star 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So first star indicates, first star, each star has a meaning here. Each star means 5 star. Actually, it will be looking like this. Total 5 star means every minute. Do you really mean every